Welcome to the bright side of aging. My name is IKE ENGELBAUM. I'm a pharmacist and the publisher of AmericanSeniorGazette.org. It has been wisely said, you cannot help getting older, but you can help getting old. It has also been said that age is a matter of the mind. If you don't mind, it doesn't matter. My purpose in doing the show is so that seniors and caregivers can share their ideas and questions on how we can age gracefully and in a vertical position for as long as our good genes will allow. And if we've inherited bad genes, how to outwit them. Our topics include senior housing, financial, legal, safety, travel, health issues, interesting senior events in the community, and most of all, tips on how to put old on hold. If you are 50 and above, one of the biggest decisions aside from your financial situation is where and how you should live. Our professional staff at HOW stands for House Calls on Wheels, is ready to help you if you call 888-489-8980 for a free consultation as to whether you should stay in your current home or renovate it with a customized healthcare suite in your attached garage. Yes, you can have living quarters, healthcare suite in your attached garage, or we can attach it to your home. We can install ramps, walkways, and bathtubs, stair glides, and bring in insurance-covered medical professional medical staff that is covered by your insurance, or affordable non-medical help, or move into a senior apartment. Independent, assisted living center. We can do it all, or just give us a free call. It has been wisely said that in life you feel in one of two ways. You do without thinking, or you think without doing. Please let us help you do what's best for you to do at no charge. Just call 888-489-8980 and let us know what time we can call you or visit with you at no charge. Remember, asking for help is not a weakness, but it's a strength. Please call us at 888-489-8980 and let us help you stay strong and age in dignity. For over 30 years, Cruise Hearing and Service has helped thousands of people improve their hearing and enjoy the sounds of their life again. If you don't hear as well as you like, Cruise Hearing can help you. They have actually hearing aids that the batteries do not need to be recharged. And they also have a caption phone that you can view for free. And also the phone, if you are over 65, is available to you free. So any phone calls you get, you can see captioned if you don't hear that well. Hey, they've got other stuff. If you'd like the free cookbook, call 1-888-489-8980. That's available. You can call Cruise Hearing Direct at 877-456-2789. The number direct is 877-456-2789. And welcome, and hopefully your day is off to a running or at least a moving start. As we age, moving becomes a bit of an issue. And the truth of it is you have to adjust. I have the ABCs of successful aging, and the A stands for accepting and adjusting as to what comes your way. B is to bridge what you were able to do to what now has to be done, but you have to do it at a slower pace.
I used to be regarded as a running rabbit. Now I'm sort of like a fast-moving turtle. But that's okay. I can accept it. I am so fortunate, and hopefully you should be as well, to live in this wonderful country. And one of the perks that I have is I really love what I'm doing. And the reason is I'm a pharmacist, and in my more active days, devoted my actually profession and activities to helping seniors. Now, I do not have the drugstores called Owl Drugs. Our motto was, we give a hoot about your health. Now I give a hoot about how I can put you in touch with so many wonderful services and wonderful people. And one of the most wonderful people that I've had the joy of meeting and greeting is Wendy Jones. Wendy Jones is the founder and CEO of Next Steps for Seniors. The company helps seniors and their families navigate senior living options and care. She started the company in 2012 after working in the healthcare industry for over 25 years. She has a passion for helping seniors avoid the stress of finding suitable care and housing. Next Steps for Seniors offers a free placement service and also produces a podcast and a radio show to provide information on various aging-related topics. Hello, Wendy Jones.
Hello, Ike.
Hey,
thank you for having me today.
I don't want to get too personal, but according to your bio, you were in the healthcare industry for over 25 years. Does that mean now that you're only 30 years old? Is that true?
That sounds absolutely perfect. I say yes to that.
Well, I really admire what you're doing, and I had the privilege of seeing you in your office. And rather than the usual referral type services, you have a team of professionals that really have been around the block, so to speak. And I really am so impressed with how you work your particular services. So to start off, as far as your services, how does insurance get involved? What can you do for them financially?
Okay, so good question, Ike. I wanted to first thank you for having me on your program. I am very blessed to have an amazing team, and so many people like yourself have so much passion for our seniors, and we really want to just walk alongside and be on the journey with them. One of the biggest misnomers, I believe, is that everybody feels like Medicare covers your care as you age. And what I'd like to talk about today is really the fact that it doesn't, unfortunately. So Medicare is great for health insurance, but it doesn't cover the actual care. And 70% of people need some kind of care as they age. That's a true statistic. So we all want to be healthy as long as possible, but when the time comes, we need to be prepared financially too. And so I just wanted to share with people that save your money. Don't spend everything you have, because we are going to need it as we age. So for example, the senior communities that we actually are moving people into are all private pay. So Medicare does not cover the cost of a senior community, independent living, assisted living, or memory care. So, and also private duty, which is home care, is also an out-of-pocket expense, and that's approximately $30 to $35 an hour for care. So I don't want everyone to panic, though, because we do have a lot of other programs that are available through the state of Michigan, like Medicaid for nursing home care, and there's also a PACE program, and there is also My Choice Waiver that the state created to keep people out of a nursing home and into assisted living. So I wanted to just kind of share that with you because a lot of people think Medicare covers care as you age, and it's really just health insurance.
Mm-hmm. And the truth of it is that you should not just depend on Medicare just automatically taking care of you. Now, Wendy Jones, as far as the services that you provide, are you also open to having people call you to see what additional type of benefits the patient might be eligible for? Is that part of your service?
Absolutely, it is. We would love you to call us. Our phones are answered 24/7, and really any questions that you have when it comes to, senior living or the next steps, if you're concerned about, yourself, if you're alone and you need an advocate. I mean, these are all the things that Next Steps for Seniors does to help people, is really walk alongside them as they age. And I tell everybody, there's no dumb questions. Call with any questions you have. We assign a personal placement specialist to every family that calls. It's like a concierge service. And that person can take you on tours. They can show you different options. They connect you with home care options, anything that you need to really be cared for properly, I guess I would say, right? That's our goal, is to just be there for you.
Right. Well, I just want to highlight what you just said, and that is you actually assign a professional from your staff. If someone calls and they are sort of floundering around rather than making calls to the various agencies on their own, you actually have a professional that can tell them who and what to ask for. Is that correct?
That is correct, yes. We like to say we're better than Google. Everybody goes on the website and tries to figure it out by themselves.
How about your Google on steroids, okay?
Yes, there you go. There's nothing like having a live person to hold your hand and talk to during times like this. Yeah.
Well, I'll tell you something. You may, I'm sure, be aware of it. There's an organization that I have found greatly helpful, Elder Care, and they actually pride themselves on having a human being available 24 hours a day to speak to. With all the fancy-dancy internet stuff, nothing beats human being to human being care. And that's what I admire what you're doing. You actually are working with professional people who actually become sort of an additional mother or to help them in their strategies. And I just wondered if you could identify, as far as knowing for a senior the right time to get some additional help in the home. What do you advise?
Yeah, I love that you asked that, Ike, because a lot of people, obviously, we all want to stay home as long as possible, and we should, as long as we can. But there are some things that I just want to share with your listeners, because as we age, if we're struggling on a daily basis to do the ADLs are the activities of daily living. If you're struggling doing activities of daily living on a regular basis, we just need to reevaluate additional support that you would need. So here's some examples of ADLs. Dressing and grooming. So if getting up, getting in the shower, and getting dressed every morning is a huge task for you and is very difficult to do alone, that would be one indication. Another indication is cooking. And if you're finding it difficult to get to a grocery store, to get to food, to eat properly, that would be an ADL. Another one is mobility, getting in and out of things, up and down. Toileting, if you're struggling getting to the bathroom, things like that. These are called activities of daily living. And I just want to encourage anyone listening to the program, if you're struggling doing the activities of daily living, that would be the first sign to think about additional support. And that can be private duty care. It can be just a phone call to our office and us connecting you with one of our placement specialists just to talk through some of the things that are out there. Many are even free resources that we can put around you to support you. Even Meals on Wheels can come and deliver a meal every day if you're struggling with food insecurity. So those are the things just to keep an eye on, right?
Right.
As far as being at home.
Well, sidebar that you might appreciate is I volunteer myself to deliver Meals on Wheels, and you would be amazed, aside from the food, how many seniors being able to talk to another human being that day almost is more valuable to them than the food. We are human creatures that need other people to be in touch with. The most dramatic example of how devastating not having that contact is we keep talking about the virus. That confinement has changed so many personalities. It's incredible. So as a senior, just being able to speak to another human being, and one of the messages that I'd like to convey today is call a friend that you haven't talked to for a while, or have them call you. Make up sort of a phone tag type system. I'm proud to tell you I started a new friends group at the Caustic Center. We meet on Wednesdays, or at least the second Wednesday of each month, from 11 to 12, and we just share ideas as to how we're dealing with life as it progresses. And whoever is listening, if you're interested in starting a discussion group, it can be done at your nearest senior center or at the library. And Wendy Jones and her staff could be instrumental in helping you make it happen. And Wendy, we were talking about contacting you. Why don't you give out your phone number if someone is interested in finding out more about you? Go ahead, give the number out.
Yes, thank you. It's 248 651 5010. And that again is answered 24/7 by a live person.
Right. Yeah, well, and I always like to give out my safety toll-free number, 888-489-8980, and I can convey it to Wendy. And Wendy, as far as the whole area, we talked about ADL and stuff, and we keep hearing about primary care physicians, and I wondered how valuable is a primary care physician for seniors?
I got to tell you, I think it is one of the most valuable things that you could have. And the reason is because you need a gatekeeper. You need somebody in your life that knows everything about you. And a primary care physician that you visited for, every year for who knows how many years, usually knows you the best. And I call my primary care physician my new best friend because, we want to have a gatekeeper. We want to have somebody who knows the inside of our body. I mean, we look at the outside of our bodies every day, but our blood work, things that are happening to us, any joint pain, whatever's going on in our lives, we need a primary care physician that has up in the hospital, or if something happens anytime, anywhere, you can always say, please call my primary care physician, because they're the gatekeeper of everything. So I highly recommend, and I'll be honest, a lot of people nowadays are just going to urgent care. They don't have primary care physicians. And that's why I'm glad you asked that question, because yes, urgent care can help you, but that person has one job: to get you to a point that he can help you there and then get you out on your way. But a primary care physician is invested in you. Does that make sense?
Absolutely. I look upon the primary care physician like in any sport that you get involved with, especially in football. You need a quarterback. And that quarterback. So if you're not into football and you're considering healthcare, consider him as your quarterback.
Yep, I love it.
And he doesn't have just a quarter of your back. He's got your full back. Plus, a lot of these primary care physicians now are available with the technology to be in touch with them whenever a serious thing comes up. And I can't tell you how frustrated I am when I hear these commercials, especially on TV. It seems like it's like one disease state after another, and they tell you about all the wonderful things about a particular drug, and then 3/4 of it tells you all of the side effects.
Yes,
and a primary care physician can tell you, hey, this for you is not the best course of action. And as unfortunately as life goes, and no one gets up in the morning, boy, I really would like to go into a hospital today. I don't know anybody that does that. But if you're in a situation where hospital care is needed, do you have any tips when someone goes into the hospital as to what they should be prepared to do?
Yes, I do. And this is very important. When you are in the hospital, there's two things I want to share with your listeners, Ike, because when you actually go through the emergency department, they determine whether or not it's medically necessary for you to actually be admitted into the hospital or not. So you're in observation until you're admitted. And I think it's really important that you ask, am I admitted into the hospital? Because even though you're in a hospital gown, you got the curtain, everything, you're getting meals, you might not be admitted. And that makes a huge difference when it comes to Medicare and the next steps after the hospital stay. So the other really super big tip is the night nurse is your key person. And here's why. Everybody's sleeping, so they have more time, because you always have questions when you're in the hospital. And it's very hard. Your doctor rounds at a certain time every day, and you want to ask when that is. So you're prepared and you have family members there as well. But the night nurse knows a lot of information, and it's usually quieter and slower at night. So if you have questions, if you want to hear more about your care, if you just want to have somebody to talk to about what's happening, I highly recommend asking the night nurse in the middle of the night. I know it sounds crazy because you're going to be like, well, I want to sleep. But the reality is that's the best time to get as much information as you can from people. So I just wanted to share that with everyone.
Well, from a practical standpoint, one of the benefits for the nurses that do work that night shift is that most of their patients are asleep, so they're not being bothered. So they have more time to assist you and really get to know you. The truth is that so many hospitals have staffing issues, and to their credit, there's only so many patients that you can spend so much time with. So you're 100% right that a hospital nightmare is probably your best way of making sure how you're doing. There's an old joke about the patient who calls the hospital, or a person calls the hospital and asks about how the condition of Sam Jones. And the nurse that answers the phone says, who is this? He said, well, this is Sam Jones, and I wanted to know how I was doing, because I can't get it from the nurse. So sometimes you got to do the ridiculous. But on a practical note, before we part company, is that you, at this point in your life, assuming you're over 65, may sound goofy, but I've done it. I've taken a simple gym bag and I put in preparation, should I need to go to a hospital, my pajamas, a list of my medications, so that the toothbrush and whatever. In other words, it's if you package, when you go on a trip, don't you prepare for the trip? Unfortunately, going to the hospital is not like going to Las Vegas, but you can pack the appropriate stuff so that you're always ready should the event come up. And Wendy, I really appreciate the time that you gave me. You got so many wonderful things going on, and I look forward to working with you because you and I have talked over the year. Is that if you are over 65, you really should start considering, hey, do I want to stay in my own home, renovate it? How do I actually do that? And what sort of care should I consider? And you got a great team that can help people in that area. Before we part company, I just wondered, is there anything that you wanted to hype? I know you have a nonprofit organization. Is there some sort of an event that you'd like for people to know?
Thank you. Yes, I appreciate you, Ike. On October 23rd, we actually have our annual gala, and we are raising money for our low-income seniors. So if you're interested in donating, we obviously need the funds because there's a lot of seniors that are living just off of Social Security, and it's very expensive, like we talked about in the beginning of the program, to pay for your care as you age. So we are giving back, and if you want to give back and support us so we can support our low-income seniors, we would definitely appreciate that. Our website is nextsteps4seniors.foundation.org, or you can just call our number at 248-651-5010.
Wow.
Thank you, Ike, so much for this opportunity.
Okay. I look forward to seeing you soon, and keep on keeping on. Right now, we're going to take a brief break, and we'll be right back. Don't go away.
When it's time to move, don't trust all your memories and most prized possessions to just some guys with a truck. Get personalized first-class treatment from bonded and experienced moving professionals. If you're confused about all the details involved in moving from one household to another, call 1-888-489-8980. Is always the concern of who should I call about the utilities? How shall I handle my household appliances? What should I do about my pets? What do I need to handle in advance of the move? For a free brochure titled Practical Hints to Make Moving Day Easier, call Aberdeen Van Lines at 1-888-489-8980. We can even help you in selling your home or any furniture that you may no longer wish for your next move. Let Aberdeen help make your move a dream. So call 1-888-489-8980 now.
And now I like to part company for this segment and actually hopefully have you come in next week at the same time. And I always like to leave with my most favorite parting remark, which is yesterday is history, tomorrow is a mystery, today is a gift, and that's why we call it this present. Please enjoy your present by looking and living life with the bright side of aging.
Welcome to the Entrepreneurs Network radio show. Our mission is to interview successful entrepreneurs who are willing to share with us their ideas and experiences, both the successes and the failures. Because as it has been jokingly said, you should learn from the mistakes of others because you'll never live long enough to make them all yourself. My name is IKE ENGELBAUM, and I'm the founder of the Entrepreneurs Network of Michigan, which is a group of motivated people that are all interested in helping each other in achieving our personal and professional goals. Please check out our website, EntrepreneursNetworkofMichigan.com, for meeting schedule as well as self-improvement material. Our philosophy is that if it's to be, it's up to me. If you are 50 and above, one of the biggest decisions aside from your financial situation is where and how you should live. Our professional staff at HOW, stands for House Calls on Wheels, is ready to help you if you call 888-489-8980 for a free consultation as to whether you should stay in your current home or renovate it with a customized healthcare suite in your attached garage. Yes, you can have living quarters, healthcare suite in your attached garage, or we can attach it to your home. We can install ramps, walkways, and bathtubs, stair glides, and bring in insurance-covered medical professional medical staff that is covered by your insurance, or affordable non-medical help, or move into a senior apartment, independent, assisted living center. We can do it all, or just give us a free call. It has been wisely said that in life you feel in one of two ways. You do without thinking, or you think without doing. Please let us help you do what's best for you to do at no charge. Just call 888-489-8980 and let us know what time we can call you or visit with you at no charge. Remember, asking for help is not a weakness, but it's a strength. Please call us at 888-489-8980 and let us help you stay strong and age in dignity.
Welcome to the Entrepreneur segment of our show, and I am always impressed with how many wonderful services that are out there that few people know about. And if you or someone that you know that's a senior, and I call a senior anyone that's over 50. I took that from the AARP. And the truth of it is, we have so many wonderful services available that unfortunately don't get the proper promotional information. And one of the best centers as far as serving older adults or senior adults is the Hannon Center. The Hannon Center is a Detroit-based nonprofit service for all adults and is now in itself a senior. Hey, guess what? they're celebrating their 100th anniversary this fall. So they're celebrating as we speak. While it has evolved over its history, its mission remains the same. Hannon has been a lifetime line for seniors, offering everything from dementia care and caregiver respite to creative art workshops and social services for over more than 1,500 older adults every year. I really am impressed with what they've done. I've had the privilege of visiting the center. It's really a dynamic center that you should take some time in visiting. And I am so glad that I'm able to speak to Vincent Tilford, who's the CEO of the Hannon Center. And he is also the guy that you turn to when Truman says the buck stops here. Guess what? The buck stops at Vincent. Is that right, Vincent?
That's absolutely right, Ike. Thank you for having me on the show today. But yes, you're absolutely right. The buck stops here. And I will say that I do take that very seriously.
For those folks who may not know exactly what the Hannon Center does, I wondered if you could share some of the stuff that you are actively involved now.
Sure, definitely. I mean, first of all, you did a great opening to who we are and what we do. But as you so already noted, we were founded 100 years ago in 1925. And I believe we did a lot of research on our history. And when we first started, Hannon was one of the few organizations in the entire country who focused exclusively on older adults. And social work was in its infancy at the time. And so we believe that we hired the first social workers to actually do work with seniors. So we think we are among the first that had geriatric social workers in place. But over the years, I mean, our mission has been pretty much the same over the years. It's about preserving the dignity, enhancing the quality of life for seniors, and we do this in a variety of different ways. You've already mentioned our adult day program. It is the only one in the city of Detroit that specializes in people who have a dementia diagnosis, and not only just serving them, but also their caregivers as well. We also have other social work services. I heard your other guest on there. We do some of the same things. One of the things that we do is to help seniors navigate this really fragmented sort of systems of support that are out there for older adults. And so, as you kind of pointed out, there are a lot of things out there that seniors could take advantage of, but sometimes it's difficult for people to know what's there because everything is so fragmented, and also things are often changing all the time. So we have the social work services, and then the other thing that we offer is, you mentioned it earlier, is arts and culture programming. And that's really, really important to us. You know, there was a longitudinal study that was done many, many years ago by a guy named Dr. Gene Cohen, who was a geriatric psychologist. And he found that when you give seniors really robust arts training from working artists, and this is not about just to keep them busy, this is about developing real skills. One of the things that he found out in this study was that seniors reported better overall health and wellness. They had fewer doctor's visits and fewer medications. And so we really try to incorporate this, not just for people who are just interested in learning art, but we also even bring it into our adult day program, which is what we call that Daybreak. So that's kind of it in a nutshell, Ike, is, we have the adult day program, we have our arts and culture program, we have social services, and then I will mention two of our signature events, because we do these events because we want to make certain that people realize that older adults have so much to give to our communities. that there's no expiration date on talent, creativity, and the ability to volunteer and do things with your family and your communities. And so we try to recognize this in two programs. We have our Emerge Art Festival, which we just opened this past weekend. The theme was 100 Years Unbound, the Power of Aging, and that's the theme that the artists can use to create their works, and it was submitted for to be judged, and so we awarded prizes this weekend. And then in a couple more weeks, we're going to be doing our 70 over 70 gala presentation, which is combining with our centennial celebration as well. And in this program, we recognize people over the age of 70 in 7 different categories, so there's 10 people per category. And we just want to show the world that older people are part of the fabric of our society. They're contributing, and it would be a loss if we did not honor and also support these kinds of works that seniors are doing.
Right. You know, and hearing you talk about the wisdom of seniors, I can't help but be reminded of the remark that the senior said, now that I know all of the answers, no one is asking me the questions. So you at the Hannon Center actually have the answers, and I wanted to know, as far as the location and the market that you're trying to reach, where are you guys located?
So we're located on Woodward Avenue, about 2 blocks south of the DIA. So we're right in the Cultural Center. And people, if they wanted to reach us as well by phone, you can reach us at 313-833-1300. And then also on our website at hannon.org. So those are the different ways that people can reach us. But our address is 4750 Woodward Avenue.
4750 Woodward. And I wondered, the Smart Bus possibly offer transportation, or is there transportation for those folks that can't drive, or that's not something you're able to do?
So Hannon does not offer transportation, but the Smart Bus will bring our clients here. We have a few clients who do take the Smart Bus.
Right. Well, I have a toll-free number that I always like to give out, which is 888-489-8980, and we have staff that does that type of thing. In fact, I am trying to promote human being to human being communication with all of the voicemail and all of the extensions. I call it a voicemail jail. If you want to talk to a human being, call us and we can put you in touch with the wonderful organizations like the Hannon Center. And as far as the hours, when are you guys open?
We're usually here from about 8 until 5 p.m. So we're here about 9 hours every day.
That's Monday through Friday, 8 to 5. And just
and
being
on Saturdays,
able...
we may be open on Saturdays depending upon what kinds of events and activities that are going on. But generally, Sundays we are closed, and Saturdays we are open sometimes.
Well, it always pays to check for any events, and the phone number there is 313-833-853-1300. 313-833-1300. Is that right? Is that the right number?
Yes, that is correct.
Right. Now, as far as the history of the Hannon Center, that was started by a woman by the name of Hannon. Is that right? What's the origin of Hannon Center?
Yeah, it's kind of an interesting story, actually, though. So you think about this. This was in the early 1900s, right? And her husband was William Hannon. He was a real estate developer, started what eventually became the National Association of Realtors. And he was probably a fairly wealthy guy here in Detroit back in his day. And he ended up dying in 1917. And then he left, most of his assets and money to his wife, Luella, as well as some went to his brother and a nephew. But you got to think that in this time, women needed a male to just to sign on to open a bank account. So this is quite extraordinary when you think about her managing the money that he had left for her. And he wanted her to do what she wanted to do or thought was best to sort of to help out Detroiters. Well, in the process, after he died, her brother-in-law, Frank Hannon, challenged the will in court, and eventually they lost, meaning Frank Hannon lost, and Luella was able to go ahead and manage the estate as she saw fit. And I think this kind of helped shape sort of why she decided to focus on older adults, because she saw herself as being older, and she also saw how quickly a woman might lose her home, her income, her network, all because she, was not in control of her destiny. And so what she wanted to do was to create a place for older people who had known better circumstances, but sort of through no fault of their own, sort of fell on hard times. And she wanted to make certain they didn't have to worry about where they were going to live, what would they eat, about having a community. And her original thought was to start a home for retired people out in Grosse Pointe. But the court system came into play again because she had a nephew that lived in Grosse Pointe who was still, I guess, pretty salty about losing the court battle. And so they fought her trying to take a older person's home in Grosse Pointe. And this time they prevailed. And so for the next 40 to 50 years, the Luella Hannon Memorial Foundation began providing lifetime stipends to people who qualified and who came to our doors. And so this went on from about 1928 until about 1971. And in 1971 is when we finally opened an apartment building to house older people. And that lasted for about 25 years. And we're actually, this is where our offices are right now. We're in that apartment building, but we no longer have residents here. Instead, we just provide services to older adults, helping them to age in place, helping them to navigate the resources that are out there that might support them. So that's kind of our history there. And then one other thing, Mike, I forgot to add is we had one other person who was part of our history, and his name was John Scudder, another philanthropist who also died early on, and he is one of our founders as well.
Wow. It's wonderful to hear how people that do accumulate wealth give back. And I have a series of IKEisms, as I like to call them, and that is, how many times have you heard, money is the root of all evil? The truth is, money is not the root of all evil. It's the misuse of money that's the root of evil. And you have wonderful organizations like the Hannon Center, and they're able to have people that are talented to keep it going after 100 years. And Vincent Tilford, as the CEO, you've got quite a great reputation. So please keep on keeping on, and I look forward to meeting you one of these days. So have a great day. Right now, we're going to wrap it up, and we'll take a brief break, and we'll be right back.
When it's time to move, don't trust all your memories and most prized possessions to just some guys with a truck. Get personalized first-class treatment from bonded and experienced moving professionals. If you're confused about all the details involved in moving from one household to another, call 1-888-489-8980. Is always the concern of who should I call about the utilities? How shall I handle my household appliances? What should I do about my pets? What do I need to handle in advance of the move? For a free brochure titled Practical Hints to Make Moving Day Easier, call Aberdeen Van Lines at 1-888-489-8980. We can even help you in selling your home or any furniture that you may no longer wish for your next move. Let Aberdeen help make your move a dream. So call 1-888-489-8980 now.
And now I am really excited about having you hear the sexy sounding voice of the CEO of our Entrepreneurs Network. And Lou Goutman is not only a phenomenal entrepreneur, but he also has got credentials that if you have a big wall to put up all the certificates and all, you probably use up the whole wall. Lou Goutman, aside from being the CEO of the Entrepreneurs Network, has his own company called Advertising Alternatives. And one of the wonderful things about Lou is that aside from being talented and being able to connect with people, he also has been the president of the Rotary Club and Optimist Club of West Bloomfield. He's gotten all kinds of accolades and certificates, and I'm so glad that I convinced him to be the CEO of Entrepreneurs Network. In fact, he's so good, he's going to be our speaker tomorrow at the Scramblers restaurant, where he'll share some of his ideas on how you can not only make connections with new clients, but how to keep them. Scramblers Restaurant, 8:30 tomorrow morning, is at 27909 Orchard Lake Road. You'll have a chance to meet and also hear his wonderful thoughts. So write down on your calendar, Scramblers Restaurant tomorrow. We're going to have our Entrepreneurs Network meeting, and he'll share some of the successes that he's been able to create because of his creativity. Hello, Mr. Lou Goutman. Are you there?
I am here. I wish my mother were alive to have heard you say those very nice things about me.
Well, you certainly deserve it. So I know you've got a lot of strategies that you've done. You shared it with our group. I wondered if you'd share some of your thoughts today. So go for it.
Well, what I'd like to share is that, sometimes old is new. And that is, as most of your listeners know, Ike, that we live in a very modern electronic world. Everything is electronic these days. Your TV service, your messages, even the IRS is now doing away with paper checks, that if you have a refund coming on your tax return, it will be deposited into your account electronically and seamlessly. They will no longer mail paper checks. But there's sometimes the old-fashioned way, so to speak, of doing things is better. And what I specifically refer to is advertising. We are all bombarded with all kinds of advertising, both on our cell phones, our smartphones, our computers, even TV and radio, which of course has always been around for many, many years. But the mail that people get these days, I'm sure most people know, is lacking a lot of advertising from time to time. And when you get something physical in your hand, you're able to keep it, and you're able to look at it and refer back to it when you need it. And that's where promotional products come in for companies and organizations that are looking to keep their name out there and make sure that their target market remembers them. So by giving somebody a printed item like a coffee mug, a pen, a T-shirt, a sweatshirt, an electronic item with a logo on it, people will always see the name of the company. It could be a bank, it could be an insurance company, it could be a small business, a dental practice, a medical practice, a pharmacy. And that's where we come in. We put our clients' names and messages and logos on a variety of different items, including the old-fashioned items like business cards and brochures.
Well, people poo-poo business cards, but so many people think it's a great achievement if they print a business card off their computer. And you know what that does? That's your first impression to someone that you want to do business with. And if a person takes a minute that you're trying to get to, that you can't even afford a professional business card, that's not exactly the best first impression. And also, I wanted you to stress, Lou, and we only have about a minute or so, is that you have the talent of finding out, you evaluate what the customer is doing and who they're trying to reach. And what I am impressed with you is when we're at different network meetings, you ask a whole bunch of questions. Who are you trying to reach? And you come up with products with the fellow that's wanting to make an impression on them. As to like with a ballpoint pen, you're going to need that to write. And there's your name. Likewise, this may be trivia, but if you watch TV, since you brought it up, almost every TV station, the guests always have a coffee mug. And guess what? That coffee mug usually has the logo of either the person that's being interviewed or the radio or the TV station that it's on. So it's so effective even on TV. And what I admire about you is that you don't just say, oh, you want, how many pens do you want? You want the cheapest ones? No. Don't give out cheap stuff. Give out quality stuff. Is that right, Lou?
Because absolutely. And you made a very good point about the TV shows, the news stations, whether it's Fox News, CNN, the Local 4, Channel 7, or even some of the talk shows like Kelly and Mark or Drew Barrymore. They all have mugs, and in fact, what they do is they sell them on their website because fans of those particular shows, they want to have their own version. So it's a moneymaker for the show as well.
All right. Well, we only have about 30 seconds left. I want to make sure if someone wants to get a hold of you, give out your phone number before I wrap it up. Your phone number is, Mr. Lou Goutman?
Anybody can reach me toll free at 888-270-7766.
All right.
Again, toll-free, 888-270-7766.
Very good. Thank you. It's been great. I'll see you tomorrow at 8:30 in the morning at Scramblers. Right now, we got to wrap it up, and I can't leave without my favorite parting thought, which is, if you really want to get anything done in life, you'll find a way. And if you don't, you'll find an excuse. And there's no excuse for not achieving your dreams and goals in America, because it is the greatest country in the whole world. Remember, a goal is just a dream with a deadline.